Welcome back to Trending on Shaw. It's been a great morning so far. We've talked a lot about snow. Joining us on our panel, Albie Soul here, Mountain Coordinator of the Outdoor Centre, and Maureen Calder in the middle here, the Executive Director of Alberta Freestyle. And we're going to be talking to Barb in just a few moments. She is a blogger with Write While You Can, and she's got some giveaways, and she's going to tell us the importance of handwriting things down, getting off our digital things and getting back to the good old pen and paper.
Okay, and I love these giveaways. Oh, wait till you see these. Perfect for outdoor conditions, as Albie's agreed to as well, too. But let's find out more of those things that are trending now in our city. People are talking about a few things, including, what about this, panelists? Personal property security camera use is on the rise. We are paranoid of our safety.
We?
Yes, we are. We want to be safe. And so we have personal cameras to keep us safe. Is it working?
I don't know. I'm not too worried about my personal property, but some people apparently are, because we're using cameras more often and using the hunting cameras. So the ones where if somebody walks past your door, they're censored so that they turn on. And they can send you text messages or emails that there's movement on your property. Are we going too far?
Well, it sounds like a sad state of affairs to me if we have to go that far. I'm not concerned. I'm not going to be installing a camera anytime soon.
Well, Albie's the guy who would tell you, I remember in the day when I used to keep my door unlocked. True story?
It's a true story, absolutely. And it wasn't until I had small children and my wife beat me into locking the door. Well, not quite literally, but convinced me that I had to lock my door, that I locked my door. And I actually, there used to be a T-shirt around that said the only thing we have to fear is fear, and unfortunately, I mean, this is a great show because we actually talk about a lot of positive things on this show, and media it makes a lot of money out of sensationalizing the bad things, and it does create a culture of fear, and I think that it's actually not a trivial issue. And do I fear people coming into my house? To be quite honestly, I don't. It's really not an issue for me. And I think to waste energy on that and to waste money on it, I think it takes away from us being able to celebrate the good things in life. Fear stops us from doing things.
Maureen, there's extremes. There's extremes of we keep our door unlocked, or we have padlocks and security cameras and the like. Maybe the message here is somewhere in the middle.
I think that's really true. I mean, I think you watch out for your neighborhood and for people in your neighborhood, and if I'm driving down by back alley and somebody's garage door is open, I'm, letting them know, oops, something happened here. I think you wanted it closed. And so there's the neighborhood, oh, that looks funny, a little bit of just, but it's a visual thing and it's not a camera, and it's not me taking time to examine all those shots on camera or to invest in that in any way. I think it's just neighborhood friendliness.
I grew up around a lot of seniors that were home all day, so I couldn't do anything without being told. Nothing. I'd come home in the middle of the day and they would be coming over and being like, your daughter was home at 1 o'clock on a school day.
You know what? One of the best things to do for security or safety within your neighborhood is knock on the door of your neighbor and introduce yourself. Hi there, nice to meet you. I know that you just moved in, da-da-da-da-da. And you're absolutely right. If there's people in the neighborhood that are looking around and looking out for you, I did that, Maureen. I actually was walking by one of my neighbors. The garage door was wide open, and I went, this is odd. Knocked on their door, and they had accidentally pushed their garage door opener, and they went, whoops. So we have to do maybe more of that. And I can understand why some people have been burned countless times. They're saying, I'm getting a security camera in there and
maybe in some areas, maybe in some of the more high traffic areas than in the quieter communities.
Barb, we're losing our trust.
Well, there must be some reason, though, right, for those people to go to that extent. I mean, maybe, as you said, Phoenix, maybe they've had a robbery before, or there's something's happened, which again is really sad. So I don't know. My thinking is something must have happened if you're going to go to that extent to sort of fortress your area, which we need to understand that. But thankfully, that's not something that I don't want to be paranoid about that. I want my kids to go outside and play and come back when it's lunchtime. I don't want to think about that, and I don't. I don't think about it. Maybe that some would say that's naive, but I'd rather term it as optimistic.
Are criminals getting smarter, Albie, maybe?
Cougars?
Are criminals. Criminals getting smarter. Maybe that's what's
Cougars maybe too.
No, I think it really is around paranoia, you know, and I think it's great that you have that self-confidence. And you know the chance of your child being abducted by a complete stranger, on the list of bad things that can happen to your child, and there are many bad things that could happen, it's round about 3,000. So you know your confidence is fully justified, and it's a difficult message to get through when the media sensationalizes every little incident, because that's a story to talk about. Instead of, we don't see any stories about, oh, today 1 million kids played outside and nothing went wrong.
Yeah. Why are we talking about those things?
We don't.
So
you know?
true. So
I did actually grow up just a few blocks away from where Michael Dennehy was taken in the year that I was born. So there was some fear when I was a kid in that area. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and it still does, I'll tell you, in my neighborhood where I grew up. We still talk about it years later. Joining us now is Barb Marshal. Well, she's been with us the whole show, but we're going to talk to her a little bit now about her blog, Write While You Can. And your blog is all about putting the pen to the paper.
It is.
That's revolutionary.
I know. How profound and novel. I know. It's funny when I tell people what I blog about, their eyes, some of them kind of glaze over and they think, you're blogging about what? And I, passionately say, yes, the lost art of letter writing. And
which is ironic because you're
I know, and the
online.
irony is not lost to me. I was saying that earlier. It's not lost to me. And I'm not advocating that we get rid of all things digital. I just think there's a real place for analog, actually even more so because we are so digitalized in our lives. So yeah, I think it is. It's ironic. I'm blogging about letter writing. But the response has been fantastic. There's a lot of people out there. I've gotten some letters from people and they're like, you are so right. I don't
Handwritten letters?
Handwritten letters. I got one this week actually. And so yeah, I love it. And I think I started this blog. A lot of people ask me, why on earth did you start this blog? When I moved, I come from a family of letter writers, and so it comes to me naturally. But when I moved, I knew no one. And so when I would get letters from home, it was so powerful.
You have a fan with Albie. He was talking about it last week. You dig what she's doing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I was courting my wife, she's a wonderful letter writer, and I treasure the letters that she wrote me. And as a young man moving to Canada, and I've left my whole family behind. I wrote my family every week, and to get a letter back, it was really special.
It is special, and I think what I put up on this morning, the blog, we talked about some of us have kids at home, exam weeks, and so a new semester starts next week. So what you'll find on the blog today are sort of 3 reasons why kids, or even us in office settings when we're in a meeting, we're hard pressed to not find someone with their phone when in an office meeting, but we should really kind of close the lid and take notes and on paper. And there's some really good reasons, and it's not just me who is some wonk about paper that's saying this. There's actually some scientific research that says, first of all, when we type on our gadgets, we type like very fast, and we can get lots more in terms of quantity, but we're typing verbatim. So I kind of think we turn into zombies, right? We're not really paying attention to what our professor is saying or what our coworkers are saying. We're just getting it down. So one of the advantages of doing that by hand, shall we say, is that we can't write as fast, right? We can't write as fast as someone is speaking, and so therefore we have to process it and put those sort of nuggets down, and that does a lot for our retention. So that's just one really good point for doing that.
To further on that point too, I mean, we were talking about my kids who are trying to learn.
Right.
And you're suggesting that writing out your work might be a great benefit for them to retain that information.
Yes, and we've had that conversation in our house too, that it doesn't just cut it to sit in front and read whatever it is on your computer. You need to write some stuff out, summarize what you've just read, summarize what you're hearing. The other thing that, of course, right, I mean, you've got our iPads in front of us, and it's so easy to toggle, right, between that YouTube video, whatever, that cat video, somebody's Snapchatted you, bing, a message goes off. So, of course, when you've got paper and pen, it eliminates that ability to toggle. So it's a distraction issue. Again, coming back to retention and retaining, and when you need that information, processing it.
I actually moved to handwriting my calendars out. My day planner, because now that I write it out, I don't ever have to look at it again because I remember.
That's
Whereas
interesting.
when I put it in my phone, I
Yeah.
do forget about it.
Yeah.
Something.
It's
And
true.
wait for the notification.
Yeah. But you know, coming back to the whole letter writing thing, there's really nothing like it, especially as I mentioned in this digital age when someone takes the time, right? Because it takes time. I think that's what I hear anyway. That's the biggest reason, that messy handwriting.
Well, Maureen's
that
busy.
people don't write
She has a
cards.
busy world, and she
Yeah.
has to do
Life
stuff
is
like that,
busy.
right, Maureen?
Life
I mean,
is busy.
But that's true, except that to write after an event handwritten thank you notes to the key people who have worked on it.
Oh,
I've heard that as well.
And mail it out, and then it's individual.
Yeah.
It's way more meaningful. So there are
is.
just some times when
Yeah.
the handwritten
Yeah.
note, even if it's not the long letter that my mother was so
Right,
good at,
right, exactly.
it
Just
still is
something.
very specific to them, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's huge.
And you've brought some items for us
I
to give
have.
away
I
here.
have.
So
Yeah.
we are going to give these away on Twitter. So these are
So these are so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so thinking of my colleagues involved with snow particularly, these are Right in the Rain, so great name, love it, notebooks, and these are just sort of the mini version, but they're waterproof and snowproof, so you can write on them, you can wipe out, and when you're skiing, that would be my scenario, and whatever you've written is still there. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, these were given to me, so I'm just passing them on and giving them out as I have them.
perfect. So
Yeah.
if you tweet us the name of your blog, so
Write while you can,
So
yes.
tweet us.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, if you can tweet us that, we'll be giving 3 of these sets away on Twitter.
Yeah, Trending on Shaw is where you'll find us as well, too, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Albie, you love this for outdoor adventuring, and even Maureen, look at her. She's just smiling.
I'm really happy about
you
this.
want a dozen of these. Sorry, Maureen, you just get one.
Yes, I can get you a dozen. Yes.
I have a technical delegate that'll be on the top of the hill scribbling down last-minute notes or taking that bib number from that athlete who
Right, yeah.
maybe shouldn't have been doing that particular jump. And they just have a moment, and it's in a pocket,
Yeah.
and
And it's
this
not
is
gonna
perfect.
get smudged, right, when the
And
snow's
it
coming.
survives
Love
the
that
down.
little
The
pen.
dump.
The pen, too.
It fits right in here because
I'm always losing pens. So
I'm in my
yeah.
backpack. I can find the book because it's kind of big, and then I'm looking for the pen that slipped into some corner.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.